Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Oceans Reviews here today. So today we're going to be talking about Star Wars Andor, my first impressions right here, right now. We're talking Star Wars. So I just watched the first 3 episodes. I watched the first 2 episodes last night and I just finished watching the 3rd episode just this morning now. So yeah, I'm going to give you my first impressions and so far they're very good. My thoughts are very positive towards this show. I think, Star Wars Andor. I think I was pleasantly surprised. I didn't really have any high expectations for this show. I didn't really think anything of it. I just sort of kept my sort of anticipation kind of reserved, and I just wanted to wait and see and sort of just calm myself down a little bit and just chill out and don't have like high hopes for it. Don't get too excited for it and just go into it with like just a clear blank mind. So this review, it's gonna kind of tread into a bit of a spoiler territory a little bit. So just keep that in mind. I'm going to talk about some certain things in the first 3 episodes. So if you haven't seen Andor yet, I recommend maybe just watching this video after you've seen the first 3 episodes. So far, Cassian Andor, he's a badass in this. He's really cool. He comes off, I guess in Rogue One we weren't really shown what sort of person he is. Like we didn't really know too much about Andor, like Cassian Andor, before this show. Like in Rogue One, he was just a character. I felt like, to me, I didn't really have any emotional attachment to him whatsoever. But he was really good in Rogue One, of course. I actually rewatched Rogue One leading up to this show, of course, just to sort of refresh my memory of the character a little bit and what to sort of anticipate and what to expect. The first episode was really good. It took like this really dark tone in the first 15 minutes or so, 20 minutes. The tone was just super dark. It was gritty. It was dirty. I really liked it. It was perfect. It wasn't really Disney-ified, if you get what I mean. It was a bit, it was pretty dark. It was a dark tone there. I won't really go into too many details surrounding why it was dark, but if you watch it, you'll know it was good. If you guys have already watched it, you'd know what I'm talking about. But yeah, it sort of takes 2 different routes. In the first 3 episodes, it goes through, I guess, like the main storyline of where Cassian Andor is sort of in the present day. And then there's it sort of shifts over to a separate storyline where he is as like a kid. So it's doing that type of thing where it's got 2 different storylines. Just for the first 3 episodes, it seems like. So we get to we're introduced, I guess, to him as a kid and what happens to him there and why and how he comes to be sort of in this present day as he is now. I think the only sort of issue I had with the show, I guess so far, I wouldn't really say it's an issue. I sort of thought about it and I kind of didn't really like it, I guess. I think in the show we were kind of introduced to too many characters and we didn't get enough time to sort of, take them in. And we weren't really introduced to them properly. I feel like it was too fast. In terms of how many characters we were meeting throughout the first 3 episodes. We didn't really get to learn about them that much. They were sort of just thrown at us. There was maybe 4 or 5 different characters that came in and just left, and maybe it's because they're not really that important to the show. I mean, obviously it's a show dedicated to Cassian Andor, but obviously you're going to have supporting sort of characters that are meaningful to his story or whatever. So we weren't really I feel like it was, we weren't really introduced to them that well, or it was a bit rushed. But that didn't really bother me too much. It didn't really bother me to the point where it destroyed my enjoyment for the show. I think so far the pacing is really good. The action is really good. There's some really cool moments in it. I like Cassian Andor as a character in these first 3 episodes. He's a bit like a kind of like a low life kind of criminal type, and I like that. He's a bit gritty, a bit grimy, but he plays it really well. He's really cool. Really cool character, I think. And the visuals are stunning. I think amazing. The show looks amazing. Already, I prefer it more than the Book of Boba Fett. I wouldn't say maybe it's on the level of the Mandalorian yet, but it's getting there. It's pretty cool. I think Cassian Andor is going to start turning into a really important, likable character now, because I think this TV show is awesome, and I think a lot of people would agree with me on that. So yeah, pretty positive first impressions here about the latest TV show here, Star Wars Andor. I don't know. And but yeah, that's all I can really think about on the top of my head. I didn't really write anything down going into it. This is just sort of like my thoughts, just on the top of my head. So far, thoroughly enjoying it. Thoroughly enjoying this show, and I'm looking forward to more Cassian Andor. So there you go, guys. That's my first impressions of Star Wars Andor. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know down below what you think of this show. Do you like it? You know, you liking it so far? Is it good? Do you feel like you have some issues with it? Maybe some nitpicking issues? We can talk about it down below. I'd like to hear your opinions down below of this show if you've seen it already. And I'll see you guys in the next video.